Imagine being able to walk into any professional setting. Now that could be a job interview, team meeting, could even be a networking event, but you're able to walk in with the confidence that you can easily make people smile, laugh, and genuinely enjoy being around you. Now this kind of charisma, it isn't something that only a special few people have. It's something that you can create yourself by developing some of your behaviors that make you more charming and more approachable. Now here's the thing, we all have a natural degree of charm when we're relaxed, but this natural charm, it often gets lost in situations where we might feel judged or where we feel like we're under the pressure to try and impress others. I want you to think of the last time that you walked into an important meeting, or you introduced yourself to a new group of people, or maybe even one person. Did you feel anxious? And did you feel like you had to prove yourself in some way? If so, you are not alone, and in this video I'm going to share with you a few ideas to help you deal with these situations and become more likable. So first up, I want you to think about a mindset shift in these situations. Instead of seeing these situations as tests where you have to impress, think about reframing them as opportunities to see if you like the other person or the other group. This change in perspective, it can make you feel more at ease and more confident. For instance, when you're about to start a new project or attend a networking event, don't think about impressing others. Instead, ask yourself, what is it that you genuinely want to learn about the people that you are meeting? Now, this not only takes the pressure off of you, but it also leads to a more authentic and probably a more enjoyable interaction. Another key to effortless charm is to engage in activities that you naturally enjoy and that you are comfortable with. All too often, people, they plan meetings and social events around what they think is going to impress others, but this can often backfire. So instead, if you were to focus on creating a setting where you feel at ease, what will happen is if you're relaxed and if you're having fun, your confidence will naturally start to shine through, making the interaction more enjoyable for everybody involved. Now, this approach isn't just about social settings. It applies to everything that you do, from presentations to team collaborations. So there's this principle known as the 85% rule. Now, I first read about this in an article about the sprinter, Carl Lewis. Now, the article stated that while other runners would often tense up their faces, scrunch their jaws and tighten their fists, sapping their energy, Lewis stayed calm and comfortable. Later, he'd swish by them one by one. Now, in the sprinting world, this style became known as the 85% rule. The idea being that instead of applying maximum effort, allow yourself to remain loose. Now, this approach, what it does is it frees up your awareness, it frees up your presence, and it frees up your power, all the qualities which we will often associate with success. So, why do we need to know this when it comes to human interactions, when it comes to being more likable? Because it allows us to relax and be more natural. When you're at ease, you're more likely to be positive and enjoy the moment, which is incredibly contagious. One of the most powerful ways to make others feel good around you is to focus on having fun yourself. Now, this doesn't mean being overly energetic or fake. Instead, it's about genuinely enjoying the moment and sharing that positivity with others. Now, that could be whether you're leading a meeting, whether you're catching up with a colleague, but a big smile and a genuine enjoyment for what you're doing can go a really long way in making you more likable. For example, I want you to think back to the last time that you were in a really tense situation, like presenting a new idea to your team. Instead of focusing on the pressure of presenting, the pressure of getting your idea across, what if you had approached it with a sense of playfulness? Imagine the difference it would have made, not only just for you, but also for everybody else in the room. You see, when you're genuinely enjoying the moment, it sets a positive tone and it makes others feel more relaxed too. One of the simplest and probably, but the most effective ways to spread positivity is through encouragement. When you share, or when someone shares an idea or try something new, acknowledge it with enthusiasm. A quick compliment or a high five if you're working in one of those workplaces with beanbag slides and free coffee. But that simple enthusiasm, it can make the other person feel appreciated and more confident. All this being said, it is really important to remember that charisma isn't about being happy all the time. It's about being real. It's about admitting to feelings of uncertainty or sharing vulnerabilities. what this does, it can make you more relatable, more trustworthy. For instance, if you're feeling nervous about something, it's okay to admit it. This shows others that you are a human being.
You're not AI.
You are a genuine human. And it often makes them more supportive for you. In fact, being open about your emotions can build deeper connections. People will respect honesty, and when you share your feelings, it gives them permission to do the same. This kind of authenticity is a powerful aspect of charisma and being more likable. Now, along with being open about your emotions, it's also important to own your flaws. Now, I think that I mentioned this in either the last video or the one before, but it's worth repeating, as so many people, they will go to extreme lengths to appear this model of perfection. But we all have flaws, and acknowledging them rather than trying to hide them can make you more relatable and more likable. For example, if you're not the strongest in a particular area, don't be afraid to admit it. People appreciate humility and honesty. In actual fact, there was a study that was conducted where they took a young lady and she was doing a blender for a demo in a mall, or if you're watching this in the UK, that would be a shopping centre for you. But during this demo, one of the versions she did absolutely perfect, made the smoothie amazing. In the other demo, she made a mistake. I think it was that she didn't put the lid on properly or something, or maybe she spilt some as she was pouring it out. It wasn't a massive mistake, but it was just a small mistake. However, the audiences were then asked to rate the likability of the person, this lady giving the demo. She was scored as more likable in the less than perfect demonstration. Another thing that you can do is you can also share stories about times when you weren't perfect or when things didn't go as planned. This can also make you more engaging. It shows that you're confident enough to laugh at yourself and learn from your experiences. And this kind of self-awareness is a key part of being charming and being charismatic. For instance, think of a time when something went wrong at work. Maybe you made a mistake or faced an unexpected challenge. Instead of trying to hide it, try sharing that story with others, focusing on what you learned from the experience and how you overcame that situation. What you're going to find is that they're going to appreciate your honesty and they're going to feel more connected to you. Let's dive a little bit deeper into stories here. You can make these stories even more engaging by setting them up in a way that hooks the person who you're talking to, it hooks their attention. You could start with a surprising or intriguing statement, something that piques their curiosity. Something as simple as, I don't think I've ever told you this, but this kind of opening, it makes people want to hear more. It also helps to highlight why the situation was so significant for you, why the story was important. And an example that you could use here is, this was a make or break moment for me because blah, 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 blah. You see, by adding stakes to your story, you make it more compelling, more relatable, and people, they want to know what the outcome was. Now, another powerful way to build connections is by making others feel special. Now, one of the easiest ways to do this is through genuine compliments. However, it's important that you make sure that your compliments are specific and also sincere. So instead of saying something generic, I want you to think about adding context that shows that you truly mean it. Let me give you an example. Let's just say that you want to appreciate a colleague's work. Don't just say, good job. Instead, try something along the lines of, look, I really admire how you handled that project, your attention to detail, it made a massive difference. This kind of compliment, it shows that you've noticed something specific, making it a lot more meaningful. So I've gone through quite a few tips in this video. Normally I would go through in the numbers. I've kind of just spitballed them out to you. I hope that there have been some really practical tools that you can take away to help you feel more confident, more charismatic in your everyday interactions. But please remember, charisma isn't about trying to impress others. It's about being authentic. It's about enjoying the moment and helping others feel good about themselves. I'll see you in the next video.